Hello, everybody. Welcome to end of day update. Bounce, bounce, bounce. Green everywhere. You can see I was telling everybody buy here. These are my indicator which works almost every time. If you bought end of day yesterday, I was giving my advice in my EV video which I shared. You can see it's still posted live video. You could have made 1.26% on S&P 500. Nasdaq came to the buy zone. Green lines are the buy zone. Red lines are the sell zone. Easy trades here. You can see almost 1.27% pump from buy zone to the sell zone. Easy trade. I gave this to all my subscribers in the channel. You can subscribe. There's a link in the of the YouTube video in the YouTube channel. You can see here another pump here. Russell 2000, Dow Jones also pumped. Russell 2000 also came to the buy zone and then pumped near neutral zone and green zone, 2% pump. Easy profits, crude oil. I was telling this morning, pre-market video still posted here. I told you, I can guarantee you it's going to bounce. And look what happened. It came to the buy zone. Who else give you guarantee, guys? Pre-market, I gave you guarantee on oil is going to bounce, 2% pump. You can easily make draft profits. CNQ I'm holding up 1.7%. I told you it's going here. This is my target 66.36 and there are still targets above. And my second target is here around 67.84. So I'm still going to hold until it reaches those targets. So from where it closed right now today to those two targets, it's above 2%. All right. And then I will say goodbye to the stock. So things are looking good. Oil miners are looking good. Gold also, you can see nicely came near buy zone to the sell zone. Natural gas up 6%. Nicely touched buy zone. Guys, where do you get this information? Nowhere. You can see 7.78%. I shared this all with the subscribers. Bitcoin. You can see, guys, I was telling to sell. It's in the sell zone. Be a bit careful. And look what happened. It dumped from the sell zone. All right. Easy trades here. Dumping from the sell zone. 2% dump. Ethereum. Same thing, dump from the sell zone to the neutral zone. Easy trades here. 2.8% dump here. Toronto Stock Exchange was in the buy zone yesterday, just touched, closed on Friday in the buy zone, bounced from buy zone to the sell zone. Like so easy profits here. 1.93. Hang Seng Index China touched the buy zone and bounced. Look, guys, touched the buy zone and bounced 2.17%. Easy trades there as well. And now sugar is in the buy zone. You can see I'm telling this is my next call. Sugar is going to bounce very soon. Soybeans is in the buy zone. Okay, so these two commodities are in the buy zone. Everything else is pumping. I was telling Tesla, I shared this screenshot with my subscribers. You can see Tesla closed in the buy zone, and look what happened today. 3% pump. Easy trades, guys. Buy zone here. Nvidia, same thing. Touched the buy zone yesterday, and look what happened from buy zone. Nvidia pumped 1.7%. I think there was one other stock which I said, I forgot what it was. SOXL, yeah. SOXL 3x leverage ETF, 7.69%. I was telling this test buy zone. If you bought this, you can see 8.38% at one point. Bounce, bounce, bounce. Bounces everywhere, guys. Bounces everywhere. Fungu also came near buy zone. And from here, it bounced almost 4.3%. All right, guys, easy trade, okay? All right. Anyhow, if you want to know about this indicator, join. There's a link in this description to join my YouTube channel. If you pay for a premium, it's like I think $8 a month. I share these zones pre-market with everybody. Also, there's a Discord link. I'll join. I'll give you access to my private member group, and you can ask any questions, any stocks. I keep around I think $8 Canadian. US is gonna be like around $6 a US dollar a month, which is very cheap. All right. So let's start with Bitcoin. Let's do analysis of Bitcoin. Let's go to daily chart. Let's get rid of this indicator. And I'm going to add a PPO here. Let me add PPO. Here you go. All right. So what's going on with Bitcoin? There's a gap here. This gap is still not filled. If I go to 1 hour chart, this gap here, gap down this day exactly on 10th of December. So there's one gap up. There are a couple of gaps here in the green lines. Oops, let me go to daily chart. You can see all these gaps on the daily chart. And you can see here, it can Definitely it can go fill this gap first, then come down. I think that's the most probable scenario. That's what I'm expecting on S&P 500 as well. So I think it's going to go fill this gap around 44,785 and then come back. Ethereum also same thing. It's going to go fill this. There's no gap actually on Ethereum. Let's go to 1 hour chart. Let's see. Yeah, there are no gaps on Ethereum, so it's a bit different than Bitcoin. But it's going to follow Bitcoin path. So maybe top out and then come back down. And if I go to live market, BTC, you can see trying to make a new high, still did not make a new high. I still have divergence, okay? PPOs, if green line goes above red line and if I get a green dot, then that's good. But until that, I'm a little bit bearish. Ethereum also, I don't have green line crossing red line, RSI making lower high. So everything is pointing towards more downside, all right, on crypto. So just a bit careful. Also, you can see background, we have light green background, very, very overbought short term. So look to take profits, guys. Do not get too excited. Wait for a good dip. You want to buy when the background is red, not when the background is green. VIX flat today, try to break out and now giving it down, but it can consolidate here. Probably it's going to bounce. You can see the cycle high is coming here by late January to early February. So VIX is getting ready to pump. So if VIX pumps, that's going to be bearish for stock market. So I think let's go to S&P 500 cash index. Let me go to 1 hour chart. Let me get regular trading hours. So you can see we had a gap up, came down to fill this gap. So I can delete this. So there are no gaps here now. So S&P 500 looks like it's forming a topping process and eventually it's going to come down. All right. So maybe this week it's just going to chop around here and eventually looking for a pullback. Triple Q, same thing here. If I go to 1 hour chart, gap up, came back to fill this gap. So there's no gap here now. Now the other gaps are here all the way down. So again, forming a topping process, then looking for a pullback. It can happen mid to late January or early February. I don't know exactly, but the pullback is coming. These are not the levels to buy. Uh, Also, same thing here. Gap up on, you can see this was Dow Jones. So looking like forming a topping process, IWM. Let's go to 1 hour chart. Again, gap up and fill this gap. So delete this. Now there's another gap here, 193.64. So be mindful of that. So it might come back to fill that gap first. And crude oil holding very nicely. You can see very nicely backtesting this support, holding it very nicely. So far, everything is trying to hold it. You can see it's making higher highs, higher lows. This low was still higher than this low. Okay, so everything is uptrend is still in progress. All crude oil needs to do is break this resistance now. It's near this resistance, secondary resistance area. If I draw a box here, something like this, okay, near resistance, so it really needs to break this. But everything is too good. You can see it came to this buy box, demand zone, looking for a pull, looking for a recovery. Yesterday's candle action was a reversal, but today it fully recovered. So now I think I'm looking for another pump to around 80 bucks, which is going to be bullish for oil miners, CNQ. Nice, nice bounce today. Looking for these two gaps as my target. First gap is 2.34, second target is 4.6%. All right. Looking for all-time high. This is the biggest Canadian oil miner, and the other one is XOM. Let me find that's the biggest American oil miner. So let's see how it did 0.45%. If I go to 1 hour chart, you can see it gapped up this day, which was 18th of December. So gap is filled, so you can delete this. Now there's another gap here. I don't know if it's gonna fill first, but just be mindful of that. And then there's another this big gap up. So from here, it can still go as high as 13, 14% to fill these gaps. Okay, so just be mindful of that. Uh, and since we're talking about oil miners, let's talk about energy sector. Same thing here. XLE looking, sorry, XLE is here, looking very nice. I don't know if it's gonna come all the way down to fill this gap. Let me delete this. So this is gonna be another gap fill from here. Whenever oil is going to be bearish, it's going to come fill this gap. I think most likely we're going higher before we go lower. I think that's what I'm anticipating. So most likely I'm looking for this to fill first and then come back to fill this. All right, that's what I'm hopeful of. So let's see how this thing goes. It's going to be all based on oil, which I'm bullish on. Gold looks like still did not make a new high. If I go to 1 hour chart, just is it going to make a triple top? There's divergence on RSI and PPO. So just be a bit careful on gold and gold miners. until you see a breakout. Okay, you can see still this new high is not made. So let's wait for it to break out before we get too bullish. Silver, on the other hand, is breaking out, made a new high, which is very good news. So silver, maybe it's pre-leading gold. So I think silver, now this thing becomes support. So I'm going to turn this to green, this box. So this is a support area now. So I think silver is looking nice to go out. Natural gas, although it's pumping, I'm still looking for this pump to fail and come back and test these lows. So still no divergence. The good news is green line is above red line. I did get a buy signal, green buy signal, but that can change. I'm just waiting for a little bit more pullback on Bitcoin. So, but the bad news is it's in the buy box. This is where dollar can bounce. So you gotta be careful here. Toronto Stock Exchange looking for the stopping process to form, then go down. Hang Seng Index also holding everything, maybe like looking like a flag. Maybe it's getting ready for a bounce. Bond market a little bit down, but it's by the dip. Looks like this is a flag and it could go break out, and the next target is around here. This is TLT. Copper by the dip, palladium by the dip, soya beans already in the buy zone. You should be looking to buy here. Wheat by the dip near buy zone. Corn making a new low, still on divergence. Nothing changed. Almost a 52 weeks low. Divergence. These are the accumulation level. This is bottom forming process. So this is where you want to buy. You don't want to buy when corn is here on the top here. This is where you want to buy corn. Sugar also nicely in the buy range, but I still don't have divergence. I want to see a little bit pump, then go down so that I can get some divergence, little pump, and then make a new low. That's what I'm hoping to see some divergence on sugar. And Tesla was down, like I said, came back, broke out, back tested this, now getting bounce. Maybe it will go and fill this 291 target from here. Apple just consolidating near resistance, nothing, did not do much. Netflix also just holding this, and Microsoft holding. Um, Google, there's a gap here on 136, so I'm just waiting for that gap to fill. Meta, Facebook came very close to this gap, going straight up. So maybe next target 357 and 360 gonna be filled very, very soon. So we'll see how that goes. Amazon also looking for new all-time highs. Snowflakes near resistance area. So this is why you gotta be careful. Nvidia. Let's go to 1 hour chart. Is this gap filled? No, this gap is still not filled. So it's near resistance to AMD. 3% pump. Looks like this gap is filled. So we can delete this. So you can see how nicely gaps always get filled. Oh wait, let's see. Did it gap up? Yeah, so it did create a gap today, which means it will be filled at some point. Did Nvidia or anybody else create a gap? Snowflakes, Amazon, Meta. There's a gap here which I missed. On Google, um, no gaps on Microsoft, no gaps on this one, and then Apple and Tesla. Okay, all right. IWM, I covered this. Newmont Mine, daily chart, just holding. Multiple gaps to the top, couple of gaps at the bottom. So look to buy on any of these gap fills. Gold miners also couple of gaps to the top, couple of gaps to the down. Uh, Maybe it's getting ready for a pump. So we'll see. It all depends on what gold does. All right. XLK, let's go to 1 hour chart. No gaps here. So again, uh, just holding the line for now. XLE, I already talked about this. XLV broke down of this trend line and again recover right away. So which is a good news. It's back on this trend line. Healthcare stock, utilities below this trend line. Look to buy on these gap fills. Industrial stocks, holding the line so far. Nothing to worry for now. Real estate sector also holding the line. Financial flat, just going very, very parabolic. Guys, look of how overbought these are. So I'm not interested in buying any of these. KRE Regional Bank ETF, very, very overbought. Shopify, looking for these couple of gaps to fill before it can go higher. All right. And that's about it for today. Let me see if anybody have any questions. Nobody have any questions. That's good. And okay, guys, if you made it so far, please hit the like button, and I will see you in the morning and share with your friends and family. Have a good rest of the